Today we'll try 8 different rums in a Mai Tai to see which one makes the best single bottle Mai Tai. And I won't be doing this alone because Kevin Crossman from UltimateMaitai.com is here to help today. There were no strict rules for the rums I selected, but it came down to basically 3 factors. Price. All bottles are about or under $40. They had to be Jamaican, so all are Jamaican rums, or at least mainly Jamaican. And then availability. Rums that would be available to most people. And there was actually a 4th factor here, which is availability to me. Each rum had to be within reach of where I'm standing right now. I didn't want to buy anything else. The idea of a single bottle Mai Tai is not new, but the real inspiration for this came from this bottle, the new Worthy Park Select, the replacement to Rum Bar Gold. As a part of putting this rum through its paces, it seemed fitting to do one of these showdowns. Now, outside of the 4 factors that I already mentioned, there's not much else. The 8 rums that we'll be trying today are the already mentioned Worthy Park Select. It's around $35 to $40, 40% ABV. It's 100% pot still rum that's aged for 4 to 12 years. Next up is a Rum Bar Gold. This is a predecessor to the Worthy Park Select. It's $25 to $30 if you can still find it, 40% ABV and 100% pot still rum. Appleton Estate Signature comes in around $20 to $25, 40% ABV. It's pot and calm still rum that averages 4 years of age. Appleton Estate Reserve 8-year. This comes in around like $38 to $42. It's pot and calm still rum with a minimum age of 8 years. Monymusk Classic Gold. It's about $35, but I got mine for $9. It's 40% ABV and it's a blend of pot and calm still. It's aged a minimum of 5 years. Smith & Cross with a price range from $30 to $35. It's higher proof here, 57% ABV. It's 100% pot still with a blend of rums that are aged 18 months to 3 years. Denison 8. The price here is $35 to $40. It's 43% ABV. It's an aged pot still rum from Jamaica that's aged up to 8 years. And a rum Grand Arome from Martinique. Planteray Xaymaca comes in at around $20 to $25. It's 43% ABV, 100% pot still, and aged 1 to 3 years. Now, when we put these up on the screen later, I'm going to put the prices that I actually paid for them locally, which is in the Bay Area of California. All right, so Kevin Crossman is here to try these 8 different rums in a Mai Tai. You don't know anything. You just know a little bit what I told you beforehand, which is we're going to be doing a blind tasting. It's going to be single bottle, and that mainly, for the most part, like mainly Jamaican rums. And there's no curveballs, there's no wild cards in there, and that everything is around $40 or under, and some of it significantly under. Do you have any, thoughts or I guess expectations to this process?
Well, single bottle. So anything that's known and good in a single bottle. So some of the Appletons would probably be candidates. Planteray Xaymaca is very common. Jamaica rum, good in a Mai Tai. Denizen Merchants Reserve is probably most notable as being known for being a single bottle Mai Tai that is a blend of some other rums, but Jamaica probably most notably. And kind of known as like the standard for a Mai Tai.
The single bottle.
For a single bottle Mai Tai. So that's, in there. But, hey, is there some Karuba? Is there some Myers? Is there some other sort of dark Jamaican rum? Those would be the cheaper ones.
Yeah, and that would be, when you're thinking about 8. Now you're kind of filling a bunch of different categories. But what's surprising is that there's more than 8. And I was surprised too that I had more than 8. I think originally I wanted to do 4 to 6 because I had this set of glasses for this. And then as I was pulling down bottles, I was like, well, I can't leave this out. I really want this in here. This is an expectation. People will leave comments if I don't have this one. So that's kind of where we landed on these. And like I told everyone else, every bottle here, maybe the number one priority was that I could grab it from this area. I didn't go buy anything, so nothing was new for just this purpose here. So the way this is going to work, we're going to make 8 Mai Tais, and then we're going to split them. So we're not going to be drinking full Mai Tais. We probably won't even drink the half that we're getting. To speed things up, I'm going to be using the drink mixer, just because it's a little easier. I've written down a letter that corresponds to each rum. So I'm going to make it. I'm going to hand it over to Kevin. I'm going to tell him what the letter is. He's then going to choose some glassware that has numbers on them. He's going to pour that into that glassware, and he's going to write down that, A equals number 1. So maybe I'll make a Mai Tai, and maybe it's, the A, and it's Captain Morgan Spice Rum, and I'll hand it over to Kevin. And he'll have to put that in the glassware. So we'll do that now, and then we'll come back and we will taste all 8 of these. All right, so we're ready to try these, and I realize now that we have these all put out in front of us how absurd this looks. These are all half Mai Tais in kind of smaller size glasses. Everything built exactly the same amount of ice. They've been sitting out for just a couple minutes now. So we're just gonna taste through these, and along the way, if Kevin wants to make some predictions as to what rum he thinks it is, he can go for it. I'm gonna not say anything since I know what the 8 rums are. We'll pick out some of our favorites along the ways and maybe revisit them. And then we'll come back and we will reveal each one. Start on this far one, and we'll put up which rum it is on the screen. Cheers.
All right, cheers. Plain Jamaican rum.
Yep.
Kind of funky too. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, there's a little bit. It's hard to say when you first one. Kind of have to get through them to maybe say how funky it is, I guess. Problem with the straw though is we're gonna drink more of each cocktail.
Yeah, but you know what? And that even feels even more funky now. All right, number 2. Tastes a little grassy.
Yep.
Not as not that aged rum I'm usually looking for in a Mai Tai.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny to do these when you have some idea, because I have no idea. There's a grassy element, but then, is there anything that has a grassy element in it? There shouldn't be, but maybe I don't know.
Who knows?
This is where it gets hard, because this feels very mild to me.
Very, very mild. Again, not really the assertive
rum
I would like in a Mai Tai.
I think with the other two, you get to here and you're like, I don't even, almost like, like Puerto Rican style.
Yeah.
Like blandness. It's also one of the lighter colored ones.
Yep.
Kevin saw sort of the color differences between some of them, but they were on the back bar. And when I poured them earlier, I could see, I don't want to say significant differences, but there were differences. But for the most part, when back here, they all look the same except for one. So,
which is actually our next one, right?
It's what it looks like. Yeah.
I mean, this one's significantly darker.
All right. This is more what I'm familiar with. Like there's a sweet oakiness to it, which it's so funny to do this because I don't know if I would have been able to articulate what that was without doing a lineup like this, if that makes any sense.
It has a little bit of a longer finish than these first 3.
I'm also getting, I feel like I taste more of the Pierre Ferrand in that one.
I'm getting a lot of your orgeat in here.
It's like a Granny Smith apple thing.
Yeah. A little bit more tart lime.
This is wild too, because I think if I didn't know what was going on, my mind would be going like a million places. But since it is so confined, some of these are very, all right, this is harder than I thought.
None of these are really standing out so far.
They're not
either, which is kind of funny.
There's like that overproof Jamaican rum flavor going on. Like it doesn't taste, obviously it's not rum fire, it's not Ray Nephew. Is it the tropical fruit, or is it more of just like what I think is like quintessential Jamaican big bold flavor?
Yeah, no, super, a lot of flavor in this one. And a long finish too. So this one's kind of sitting there too.
It's way more approachable than the other one, but I feel like there's a hint of that Jamaican flavor. Okay.
Not a ton though. I'm really hoping one of these is going to be a superstar.
Last one.
This one to me tastes most like what I expected Mai Tai to taste like. A lot of different flavors. I feel a little bit over those age notes here.
This one's good. This one feels, I got to go back through. Feels like the most well-rounded of them.
Yes.
Like it's not too aged. It's not too funky. I have no idea. I have one idea what one of these is and no idea what the other 7 are. Like I know for sure what one of them is, and Kevin will have easily been able to figure that out too if he had seen the lineup.
Yes.
We can tell by the color. So I didn't choose a favorite yet because I want to kind of go back through each one, but don't feel pressured.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try these ones that I put out front.
Oh, this is challenging.
This first one tastes a little bit Worthy Parkish to me, so we'll see. The prediction is true.
Yeah. Okay. This one, first sip, because you can't compare it to the rest of them yet. This one has, man, it's hard to say. It's hard to articulate what it is because I don't necessarily think that I'm getting like overripe fruit necessarily because it's in the Mai Tai, but it is Jamaican. It packs a larger punch here. So yeah, this one I'm not feeling it.
These 2 and 3 both. Not much going on for me.
Pacing myself now. You have to work tomorrow. So far, this one good for both of us. We like this. This one we don't like. I'm going to go back to this one now. I think I'm liking it more than this one, but not much. Doing these single bottles too. Some of these, the ice is obviously melting. It's not a super warm day in this room or anything, but if you're having a Mai Tai, you're not drinking the Mai Tai within 2 to 3 minutes anyway. So this is kind of, you do want something I think that stands up to some dilution over time. And so far this is one of my favorites, but it's also not giving you that Jamaican punch. Like it's not the big robust flavor. It's more of the age note, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't like this. This is
Like it has an industrial taste. Like it reminds me of maybe a Barbancourt type.
Yeah. Sometimes it's so hard when you get something in your mind and you don't know if that's it's like just sticks there.
Yeah.
Because I think that industrial, and then I don't know why I thought like pine sol type thing going on, but it's not. I don't know. I don't think it's bad. This one I just really didn't like. This one's like maybe a little better than that, but it has some type of undercurrent to it that's I don't love. But what's funny is like some of these things you might be able to, if you did like 2, 3, 4 rums, you can hide some of that unpleasantness, or if you feel that way.
Or it might complement the other rums that you put with it.
Yeah. So it might be missing some oakiness, which Appleton 12 would bring in.
Right.
Might be missing that banana note that you want from something, which you could get from a Smith & Cross, So that's where building those blends makes sense. And what did Don say about the rums?
What one rum can't do, 3 rums can do, because you're putting three tastes together that create something unique.
Yes. And we're going the opposite direction here. Now that tasting there's a big flavor to this one. And it has, I would have maybe thought, if I didn't know better, like a funky, like the funkier dark rum quality.
Not a lot of rum flavor there.
There's not a lot here, but it's also, to me, it's not bad. So that to me is like,
yeah, definitely not unpleasant.
Middle of the road. I have 4 favorites, 2 that are middle of the road and 2 that I don't like.
And they're all the same ones that I like.
Yeah, there we go. Let me go back. I'm going to go back through the top 4 again real quick. All right, so we're going to choose our favorite. I'll let you go first. You're the guest. I'll have you go first.
So this one is my favorite. It's really close to these 2 here. Mm-hmm. And all 4 of these ones are really good. But this one overall was the best balance for me.
I also preferred this one the most. And I also really love this one, but I know what that is. Unless I don't, and then I'll look like an idiot. So I know what this is. So there's a part of me that wanted to choose this, but I'm not. This one, yeah, like well-rounded. You can taste like that there's proof there, hopefully. That there's the Jamaican flavor, there's the tropical fruits, there's the banana note as well. There's some sweetness, but it's not industrial. Now I'm like,
easy sipping.
Now that we got here, it's like, now this is fun because I'm excited for whatever that is.
Okay.
And I don't want to make a prediction because I don't want to spoil it for you. But even if you knew the 8 rums, I don't know. I have no idea.
No, and a lot of these don't taste like Jamaican rums to me.
Yeah.
At all, especially a couple of these down here.
I will say,
if you told me, we have Jamaican plus Barbados, or
Yeah.
I would have said, well, okay, these are the Barbados rums here,
Yeah.
or whatever.
That's what's fun about this. And there's one rum in here that I just thought, I'll put it up on the screen right now. I was like, I know what this is. I'll know what this, I don't know. We figured out what we like the most and the least. So we're going to kind of start with the ones in the back here that we thought were the ones we liked the least. So this one is, oh man, this is rough. Before I tell you, take another sip. Same feelings?
Yeah, there's not a lot there.
All right. The reason I'm sort of pausing is because B, the one that you all know what it is, we're just figuring out, he doesn't even know yet, is the whole reason for this whole thing. And that is Worthy Park Select.
Oh.
The new Worthy Park Select, which part of the reason we're doing this is a couple weeks ago, I got that bottle. I made a Mai Tai. I loved it so much as a single bottle Mai Tai. And I love Worthy Park that I was like, well, the thing to do would be to like, okay, instead of diving deep into this and talking about how great it is, do a blind taste test with it.
Well, I really like Worthy Park rum, but this is a lower aged rum.
This is on the top of the price range here.
Really?
$35 to $40. Okay. Worthy Park Select is the successor to Rum Bar, which it's different. Maybe like
it's a little bit.
I was gonna text a friend who does this as well to see, but I forgot to. It's supposed to be different than Rum Bar, but when I made a Mai Tai with this a couple weeks ago, I was like, this is the best single bottle Mai Tai I've ever had. And then we're here with 8 of them, and it's not our favorites. The next one is 6. I put it kind of in the middle of the road. Kevin put it towards the back.
Yep.
That's Rum Bar Gold.
Okay, so to me, these two are like almost the same rum, if not exactly the same select, right? So, and again, I love a lot of the Rum Bar rums, but and Worthy Park rums, but maybe these expressions aren't my favorite, and that's why I'm putting them here. 2
least favorites are Worthy Park and Rum Bar Gold.
So the next one is
which is Monymusk Gold. It's like a big surprise to us. They all know. But this is, I think when I looked this up, this is $35.99 retail, which seems like a lot. But for me and some others, I know some people in the Make It Drink Patreon and Discord purchased this. K&L Wines had this last year for $9.99. So I had like 5 or 6 bottles. It is not as easy to find as probably the rest of the rums here. From some of the other rums, we're trying to a different distillery that isn't always highlighted here. So, I think it was fine. There was nothing special about it.
I mean, I think that this would be comparable to Appleton Signature in style, although it is a little bit pricier, or maybe less pricey, depending on your sale of the day.
Yeah, you're if you can find that. I don't think they have any more. This was the one that had kind of a fruit note, like a acidic fruit note, like a Granny Smith apple, like that malic acid note from Granny Smith apple. So those were our 3 least favorites.
Least favorite, not terrible.
All right, so I have one that's kind of in the middle of the road. Kevin has it towards the back of the pack here, so we'll check that one right now.
All right.
I mean, for the most part, cheapest rum of the day, except for the $9.99, K&L special. $20 for a bottle, entry level to any Jamaican rum, and it did fine. It wasn't special, but you would think that in this whole thing, this would be the one that might have performed the worst, and it's in the middle.
Yeah, and Appleton Signature, I mean, like you said, it's their entry level. I usually like something a little bolder and with more age than Appleton, but yeah, this should be about where it should be in the ranking, at least what I would assume from your list of rums.
And if you were building like a blend to be economical, this would be a good sort of backbone to that, to
Absolutely.
Give the right flavor, ABV, and some of that Jamaican flavor. So I'm happy that it did there, because there's a lot of people who love a single bottle Appleton signature Mai Tai, and it's fine. All right, so Kevin and I had 4 rums that were kind of the standout of this 8 that we liked. So our favorite, though, ends up being the one on the far right for both of us. So we're just going to start over here, and we'll go with this one, which is...
Definitely pretty funky. It was in my top 3.
Do you have a guess?
Denizen.
Okay.
Oh, Smith & Cross.
What I noticed from trying these is that I thought Smith & Cross would stand out against the others. And there were 2 or 3 that it could have been, but there wasn't a clear Smith & Cross for these Mai Tais. And I'm someone who probably would generally not ever make a 100% Smith & Cross Mai Tai. It was fine. It was good.
A lot of places use Smith & Cross in conjunction with something else. It's part of the Ultimate Mai Tai rum blend. Not using Smith & Cross just by itself usually. So
if you're looking for kind of an affordable 2-bottle blend and you want to be purely Jamaican, these would be 2 good options because you're in the $35, $40 range plus $20. I was surprised it didn't stand out as much as it did, but it makes sense now that we're tasting through it.
All right, next up is Appleton 8.
Appleton 8, so our most aged rum of the day. I didn't do 12 because I was just keeping it under $40 to $45. We could tell by the color, but I could also tell by the flavor. It had the Appleton flavor that I'm used to in the 12 and the 8. It had the most age on it and the most of that sweet sort of, long aged finish than the other ones.
I guess I was thinking you were going to throw a dark Jamaican in there, but if you're thinking gold Jamaican, this is probably the darkest of all of them. So
yes,
that is a great choice and a great Mai Tai. It was one of our top picks.
Makes a great single bottle Mai Tai, and if you like the oakiness, that age characteristic, that's going to be the one that stands out against all these other ones today. You can find this for like $40 nowadays. Sometimes it was at my Costco for a day. Hasn't been back since, but somewhere between $35 and $40 now. All right, we got another one from the Ultimate Mai Tai blend. 100% pot still Jamaican rum, plantation, Planteray. That was another one with Smith & Cross that I just assumed was going to stand out more funky fruit flavor, but it's not that it didn't, it just wasn't as noticeable as I would have expected.
Definitely in the top tier, but overall, it's still a pretty affordable rum. I mean, this is a lot cheaper than Smith & Cross as an example.
So it was, I think when I got this new bottle, I think I paid like $22, $23. I think it's $26, $27 now, but still under $30 for 100% pot still rum. If you really want that flavor, this is and Smith & Cross, the ones that you would want. And it is much like if you're doing a 2-bottle blend, 3-bottle blend, you're going to save a lot of cost by using this one.
Yeah, this one's a little different because it is got that extra aging in France in the cognac barrels, but no dosage, no sugar added, so it's still quite dry and delicious.
So we have one more, and do you want to guess what it is?
Well,
here's the thing: I can't even think of what it is.
Well, if you didn't put Denizen Emergence Reserve on this list, I think you'd be kind of...
That would be foolish.
Yeah.
Let's check.
So...
Let's see. It is... It is Denizen. Well, that's kind of great because that's what it's supposed to be. And we went to Smuggler's Cove like a week ago. Actually, 1 week ago today. You had that. And I wasn't necessarily expecting it to be the top. It's just sort of, with so many of these, everything gets lost. But we both independently thought it was the best single bottle Mai Tai.
That's the headline, right? I mean, everyone thinks like, well, it's sort of like the obvious pick. But you did a blind taste test. We didn't know what it was, and it was still ranked the best by both of us. That's pretty great.
Yeah. The obvious pick to me is the telling sign that it's not going to be the best because everyone thinks it's the best and everyone just sort of goes along with it. And there's this sort of story behind it, which is, Martin Kate trying to create that
second adjusted Mai Tai,
which had a Grand Arome style rum from Martinique, which it has in there. But I just would have thought hey, if we're doing blind taste testings and we get rid of the fluff of the story behind it and the connection to Martin Kate, the connection to Trader Vic, the connection to that adjusted formula, that it would have got lost in the mix, and it didn't.
I mean, I'm not completely surprised that it was, ranked at the top. I mean, everyone who's tried it knows it's a really good Mai Tai rum. I might have guessed the Appleton would have been my favorite if you had asked me, or maybe the Smith & Cross, and they were right up there. But, makes a great Mai Tai.
So you do a best Mai Tais of the year. Is this the Smuggler's Cove version? Is that going to make the list?
Well, I have a top 10 on the ultimatemaitai.com. We have a top 10 Mai Tais in the world, and Smuggler's Cove is always in that top 10. It used to be a top 5, even when I'm including exotic called rum blends and all that sort of stuff. So, Denizen, it's really good in a Mai Tai.
And this is the older label, but should be the same as the new one you get. But there you go. The Denizen 8, same one that Smuggler's Cove uses, ends up being our favorite. Both of us independently deciding on that one, which maybe shouldn't be a surprise either, now that I think about it. That's it. Is there anything that you maybe feel like misconceptions you had, something you learned, or just anything at all, like takeaways for anyone at home?
Well, some of these rums that are in the front are a little bit higher priced. Sometimes an extra $5 or $10 can make a big difference in your quality of rum. That being said, we liked all of these, so whatever you pick is obviously a good choice. And these ones at the top, I mean, they're notable for a reason. People really like these rums, and again, blind taste test was pushed to the front.
So in a blind taste test, just to recap, the 4 rums that we thought were really the standout rums were the Planteray Xaymaca, the Appleton Estate 8, Smith & Cross, and then the winner for us, Denizen 8. If you're looking for a budget selection, Appleton Signature did very well. I mean, it was middle of the road for us. So in some of these, it's like half the price here.
Absolutely.
But Planteray Xaymaca, it's under $30. So that's kind of probably the best buy of all of them. So thank you to Kevin Crossman for coming and trying this, what is kind of a ridiculous taste test. But as we got through it, it kind of started to make more sense. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like below. Consider subscribing to the channel. Go check out the ultimatemaitai.com. Check out Kevin on Instagram as well. And otherwise, see you on the next one.